Hello, welcome everyone. I'm Sally Hurley. I'm joined today with Jeff Kramp.
Hello, everyone. Good morning.
Good morning on the East Coast and I guess everywhere west. Thank you for joining us today for our live LinkedIn webinar. We've been doing these every couple of weeks. And today we're going to talk about, give you some real world examples, demos of good examples and some not so great, but it's going to be a workshop, so you'll be able to take away prompts and activities to assess your own customer experience.
Yeah, it should be very exciting. And I think it's going to be very sort of real world and looking at these are not our clients. We're going to be looking at real world examples here and just give our perspective on those type of bots.
And they are not our clients, for the record, and we're not here to criticize, we're here to share. So we're going to share 3 real examples of businesses with chatbots today that are leveraging AI to some extent. And then we're going to dig into an assessment you can do that rates your own experience for your company or your competitors. And then we have prompts we're going to share at the end. And we're going to be able to share all of this with you and then send it afterwards too. So
we thought it'd be fun to take you on an exercise, a journey. What we do when we get a new client, first thing we do is assess their customer service experience and understand what the technologies they have and what their sort of branding is around customer service and how that engagement goes. And so, we thought we'd pull back the curtains here and just show you a bit of our exercise and a bit of our journey.
Well, it's a good point, Jeff. Like, who are we? So VIPdesk, Jeff and I have been doing this for, let's say, 20 years. We've been working with brands on their customer experience and customer service. And for a year and a half, helping clients implement AI to help automate some of the routine inquiries, but maintain the customer experience at the same time. So that's who we are. That's the context. That's the lens we look at all of this through. So
we're a little bit obsessed with customer service and the customer experience. So this is what we do for fun.
Okay, so let's set the stage. Not all AI and customer service is created equal. No kidding. We all know about the frustrations that it can cause for customers. Probably we've all experienced it ourselves. Then you jump to some AI is on the right path, but maybe misses the mark a little bit. You get really hopeful and then it falls short. And then there's just some mind-blowing, amazing technology and great customer experience. We've actually seen CSAT scores go up. So there's a real mixed bag, and that's why we wanted to show what we were going to show today.
Yeah, and then go ahead. You want to talk about the expectation gap?
Yes. Okay. So if we start backwards and say 80% of companies are not getting it right, they're experimenting, but there's a big gap. So customers' expectations are really high, 70%. Well, I would say 100% of us expect accurate answers when we have a customer service issue, but over 60% abandon bots when they can't help them. I mean, that all sounds like common sense. And that leads back to companies, while everybody's trying, we should all have a little grace because AI is new, but customers' expectations are rising. So I'm not sure how much patience customers will have for very long.
Yeah, especially the more and more people doing it right, it's gonna amplify those poor experiences. So we thought it'd be fun to sort of put bots into sort of 3 different buckets when we sort of were pulling out companies that people experience with on a daily basis or have used before. And so we wanted to look at somebody who was more of a traditional bot with rules-based, very structured, and that's the way we've done it since chat came around and since we started automation. And how that can really be frustrating. Like there's a lot of diversity to your requests, and so those traditional flows are very hard to make really flexible. So I think we got a pretty good example of that. And then before GenAI, there was still AI, and it was natural language understanding, and you may notice it as intent detection or natural language processing. And so those were good if you could anticipate how people say all the different intents and how well that would work. And even still, that was very robotic because you would just serve up here's your intent, here's a prefab answer for that. that intent. And now we're in the world of initially it was just generative AI, and then it was agentic AI now, and it's really gotten to the point where it's superhuman. It's very conversational. It can adapt. It remembers your context, and it starts having conversations with you like a person would. And then that's what we're going to showcase here today. So our first example, and again, this is not to disparage anybody here, but we wanted to show an example of a bot that comes across. Initially, we thought it was going to be maybe using some generative. There is a free-form text bot where I can type in there, and I have to say hi to start the conversation. So that's already a bit awkward. And then nothing happens for a while, and there's no typing indicator. And then suddenly we get prompted with our introduction, which is totally fine, and buttons, which aren't bad. Buttons can guide people if you want to quickly jump to something and not type. But if you're giving the option to type something, you're sort of now under this impression that, oh, I can have a conversation with this bot. And in this particular instance, I'm giving it a lot of context. I'm talking about the particular mouse that we're on. I've given it a question, and now it's coming back with some suggested options. So this is just doing sort of maybe some basic intent detection and saying, this sounds like a product question, but not actually answering my question. So then I actually give it some more specificity. Does it work with my tablet, my Android? And we're going to see here, it comes back with a search result from the Knowledge Center. They're likely just searching for the word Android and giving me a product that's not even the one that I'm looking for here. So it's set up and feels very contextual and more like a modern widget. But even when I give it specific information about the product, it gives me additional options. And so it's just not a good experience. I don't see this helping many people. And if anything, it's going to lead to frustration. And this was on actually a product page where I might be looking to purchase something. So potentially a lost sale there because I don't know if it works with what I was asking it.
It's almost at the point where it's better to not offer it. We don't know, is this solving some serious problem for them? Some of the where's my order, I don't know, but it just seems like I think we're in now a battleground for the customer experience. And if it's not great, you may be better off not to offer it.
Exactly. I think that's a key thing. You should always have a reason behind your actions. And in this particular case, I don't know what it is. Like if you feel like you have to offer chat, and a chat is a great way to gain efficiency, but just escalate it. If you don't have the option to staff that, maybe because of budgets or your volume is too huge at certain seasons, then you do need to look at automation, and you should be trying to automate here. And right now, this just did not feel like it was really doing anything other than eventually searching the help center, which I could just do on my own. And I don't want to necessarily read a 40-page product document. I want to just find out, will it work with my Android tablet?
Well, I think one of the challenges, Jeff, is the adoption of ChatGPT. So we go through our days like it's now the new Google, and it just is so good at coming back with all kinds of immediate, instant answers that now as humans we're like, why is this not behaving like ChatGPT? So that's part of the problem. Like people are already like, some people haven't adopted anything and they'll probably be okay with this for a while, but the adoption is just wild and crazy. So
and I think that's a thing about expectation. Whenever there's something out that takes the world by storm, you look at Amazon, like they've kind of set the baseline for what logistics should be. Like you don't really ever wonder, where's my Amazon order? It's literally like, we will be here in 47 seconds. Like like I've never contacted Amazon to be like, what's going on? And so then that's a very hard bar to set. Same as ChatGPT. You're not going to have like that level of amazingness that you can do with ChatGPT, but you can get pretty darn close. And so that bar, I think you have to always be aware when you have something that touches a population to that extent, people are going to expect that. It's like not having a website. Like you got to have a website.
Okay. So the next one is Walmart. We love Walmart, but the first thing is I love that you can just type in the search bar customer service. It comes right up. So that's kudos because they're not hiding it. They're making it easy.
And they pre-open the widget for you. I'll have to say that. I love that.
Yeah, this is great. I always start with, I have a question. Like, I don't know if I'm normal, but I have my own questions. And then is trying to force me into these little buckets. And I think, oh, I want to ask something about an order. And it does say, maybe I can help you. And I say, it's about something specific, thinking, sizing, for example. And it's like, no, you have to call this number. So they're very quick to hand off to, not to a human, but to call. And then I, for fun, clicked on order, and it took me, which I do think is impressive. It gives you back your past orders. But then again, as soon as I ask a question about it, it pops up the phone number to call or go to order details in my cart, like in my account, sorry. So it moves fast. I like that they're not hiding customer service. They're trying to make it be, and they're sensitive. Like, if we can't answer it here, we're going to hand off. But I'm not sure how they're using it, but it is fast. It does have the past purchases, if you've logged in, integrated, which I was logged in. So it's not bad, but it still feels like it's not listening to me. Well, it's not, right? It's looking for words and it feels robotic, and it doesn't feel helpful to me.
Yeah, I think it's important to note, like, they did several things right that you commented on there, right? They're like, when we talk about agentic AI, it's using tools to do stuff for the customer, like proactively looking up your order. You didn't ask it, show me all my recent orders. It was like, oh, okay, this is likely what it's going to do. So it is doing some stuff on the back end. It's either with intent detection or some generative stuff to fire off those commands. And what I always do appreciate is the easy handoff. Like, they're not hiding that you can get an agent. They're like, no, like, go away. Here's a person for you. But if I was looking at that on some sort of an ROI perspective, I'm like, that's a lot of stuff you're not automating away. And I don't want to necessarily call in or wait and queue. Like, I want to be able to just get my answer. And so they've almost kind of done a worse job, because they've set you up thinking this is going to have this functionality. I know when we went through it and we first saw, like, oh, here's your orders. This is great. Oh, this is going to be fantastic. And then it kind of teetered off, which can even lead to more frustration, even though you put more effort in.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, think about who they are. And if, let's just say you have a wedding, you've ordered all kinds of decorations or things for your home, and you're emotional about it, there's definitely no emotion being detected there. So I just think emotion and customer service are like two peas in a pod. And so, at least get the bot to pretend like it cares. And they did a nice job saying, unfortunately, we can't handle this. Please call this number. But then that's, I don't know.
Yeah, and I think in both of these bots, I would argue, what's the point? Like, we didn't go through a point where it was like, oh, this actually helped us do something that we either didn't already have. Like, you have your orders up in the top. If you just wanted what was my last order. But yeah, I don't find them helpful, and I don't get the point if you're not going to be helpful.
So this next one is Aura Ring, and they do a beautiful job, but I have to go hunting for it at the bottom. And I don't think they should hide it. They should put it at the top, because it's actually really good. So my ring the gold is wearing off. So I always start with, I have a question. Because I want to know that it's a real conversational bot, that it's going to actually take in what I say. So what I do like is they say it may take 30 minutes to get to a human if you need it. So that's amazing. So I say, the gold is wearing off my ring. And it comes back, it's listening, right? It's interpreting, and it's asking me what generation I had. Now I logged in and it didn't know it was me, and didn't know I had this version, and didn't know, right? I already said it was gold. So these are just little things. If I'm going to be nitpicky, but I don't mind. I'm telling it, this is the color I have. This is the generation I have. And they do a great job, this bot, at, kind of explaining their policy around, natural wear and tear. They are fitness rings, so you're wearing them for fitness and everything you're doing. So they take a bit of a beating. It wants to know how long I've had it. I say 1 year. Actually, it's 1 year and a couple of days. So I should have done this chat a week ago, because it comes back and says, sorry, our warranty is, 1 year. And by the way, they're not going to take care of they're not going to honor a warranty for natural wear and tear. But they do kind of a good job of saying, but this is how you can take care of it going forward. And then I think at this point, I ask, like, what if it can't be fixed? Should I buy a new one? I'm asking, like, sort of, what are my options? And it comes back and says, sorry, in a very nice way, by the way. And what's funny is Jeff and I, we did this a couple of times and it gave us slightly different answers, which tells us it's a modern chat experience. Now I have to keep scrolling, which I didn't like. But, understand your concern, blah, blah, blah. You're frustrated with the cleaning instructions, then connect you with our customer care team. I ask about the warranty, which I already know is not going to come into play because they consider it natural wear and tear. So I do ask about, can I get a discount? See here, it's telling me it doesn't cover normal wear and tear. Oh, that's fine. It's like, as a human, I want to understand their perspective. That's just me. I say, although I'm just sort of messing with the bot, I say, okay, that's frustrating. I'm just getting at, are they going to offer me a discount? What in a normal human customer service interaction, you'd be saying, I'm sorry that I know you love that. It's a shame the gold is wearing off. In a human customer service center, they might say, next time you buy a ring, be happy to give you a coupon or a discount towards your next one. And in this case, in one of the scenarios, I thought it was pretty funny. It said you could go refer a friend for 10% off and then have that friend be yourself and take advantage of it, which I thought was funny. This time, I was just being difficult with it, but it did come back and say, Amex Platinum does have a $200 discount, which is really a nice bonus. So I think it did a beautiful job actually communicating back and forth, explaining policies in a way that, I think made sense. So I think it's one of the better scenarios out there. And I like that it's conversational mainly. That's just me.
Well, I think that's an important thing to understand too. And if I was looking at this, like, this did solve the interaction. It didn't give you what you wanted, but you can't always get what you want. But it allowed the ability to switch to context. You're asking about the product, then you're switching to warranty. You're asking about discounts, and so that's one of the powers that these models have. And I like the certain use cases where you did switch in there. It didn't apply context, which you can do now. To understand which product you were talking about, or at least give you less of a list. But sometimes you can borrow from some of the old technologies and whatnot. If you really want to get exactly what it is they're talking about, to break away for a second, come back. But it never asked again. It just kept that context in mind that this is your particular ring, that this is the particular issue. So they're doing a lot of things right here. They're clearly using a more advanced model. They're clearly keeping a context memory of the conversation. So I don't know why they're hiding it. That's interesting. The other one's like, we're going to pop it up right away, but we're not going to help you. And these guys, we can help you, but we're going to hide it away.
Yeah.
And I think the scrolling too is a big one. And I think what's important, and one of the things that I think we always have fresh eyes when we go through these processes, is you get used to it. Like, maybe that's was the way when you launched a solution and you just do it because you just do it naturally. But if you get your operations people, you get your agents to just deal with your customer service as if they were a customer, people are going to bring those type of usability things to point, and those are easy fixes. And so that's either, if you're using a platform, you bring it up with them and say, we need that enhancement. But the customer experience is just the whole thing. And if you're scrolling every time, it's just one little another thing that's poking at you if you're not happy about something out of the gate.
Yeah. I mean, the fact that it's fast, you can type whatever you want, it repeats it back, it remains positive. Those are important things as we jump into this next step, which is, I believe, first, Jeff, why don't you share what you think good looks like, and then we'll get into some assessment tips.
So to me, again, that bar has been set pretty high. So really, it's that open-ended conversation. If you want to look at the conversation, you look what Sally was saying, if you were talking to an agent and you saw that conversation, it would go the same way. Sorry, that's our policy. Like this is like, if you can mirror that experience, then you're doing a good job. That is what good is, except you can do that consistently 24/7 in 100 plus languages. Like you can do all of that out of the gate for various things. So I think that that's really important to always speak positive, like that tone. We always talk about the voice of the bot or that persona, to try to pivot around and like show that empathy, but remain positive and kind of keep getting that spin on it, because that's going to just help your overall sort of NPS or CSAT or just general vibe that people are having with your brand. And so the last thing you want to be doing is just suggesting a link to an article. We've seen that too many times. If they're already on your help center, they already have access to that. It's either not written in a way that they need it, or it's just way too long. They just want to know, like, will this be covered under your warranty? Don't make me read your entire warranty policy. Or will this work with my tablet? So there's like, it's one of those things that we've put a list here, but if it's good, it feels good. And so just go through it with fresh eyes, ask other people to do it, and get their opinion, because once you figure this out, you can really nail customer service.
So this is, I do think we didn't say also they had a little survey at the end, the NPS, refer to a friend, at the end of the Aura. Probably in the future, we won't need to be surveying because we're going to already get the essence from customers. I also think if you start to see, did this answer your question? You don't need to do that anymore, because if it didn't answer their question, customers they're going to say, excuse me, what about this? Right. So I just think there's a lot of I could do stand up for the customer service industry, like IVRs. We have changed our menu. I'm like, nobody cares that you've changed.
Nobody's memorized your IVR menu.
Anyway.
But it's a good point about the resolution, because like your agents are always asking like, hey, is there anything else I can do? Did I help you today? People don't just hang up the phone. They actually answer. Unfortunately, with bots, they just go on with their day. They're chatting, they're on a website. So you're not, even if you ask that, you're going to get we see a very low response rate on the bot. Sometimes I feel bad for the bot because everyone just leaves them hanging. But it's not really, like, if you make that path of escalation super easy and the bot is going to do that and people aren't escalating, it's resolving.
So this is so simple. This would take you 10 minutes. It's a little assessment of your own chatbot or your competitors. You can rank 1 to 5 in any of these categories. If you score a 3 or below, I would say like a 4 or below, you have stuff to work on, because what's out there now is just so good. But, understanding, did it understand your intent? In our first example, definitely not. The second one, sort of. Tone and brand voice. Did it sound like your brand? First one, no. Second one, I'm not sure. Third one, yes. Resolution, did it actually solve the issue? You're getting the idea here, right? Efficiency, was it fast? Like the old chatbots, you just see those bubbles. Like, anybody out there? Like, it's just.
Or worse, no bubbles. And then you're like,
no bubbles. Or it takes you down a horrible path and then makes you email them, like something ridiculous like that. Delight, did you think it was good? Just your own common sense here. So we're happy you can take a screenshot of this. We're happy to send it to you. You take 5 to 10 minutes to do this. You'll have a very quick back of the envelope assessment in terms of expectation.
And I think it's an important thing too, you said about your competitors, because we do get tunnel vision, like when we talk to our clients, and that they live and breathe in their brand. And so getting out of there and just even seeing what's happening in the world, because if you have an amazing experience with one of your competitors, that could be a problem. So it's something that you can solve. You just have to look at how do you compare? How do you match up against something like this list of criteria?
Okay, so we have put together a CX Leaders GenAI prompt pack. That's a lot of words. It has 8 prompts. We're happy to give it to you, send it to you. This is the document. You can enhance these prompts yourself, take them, say, blow it out for our business in this way, that way. And I think they'll help you develop a strategy around what's working and what's not. So we have 2 of them here. And you want to tell it who, if you're using ChatGPT, for example, you are a senior CX evaluator with deep expertise in GenAI customer service design. So here we're saying, take the transcript, analyze the following chatbot transcript, or if you can get several of them, describe the typical flow you have, identify top 3 friction points that reduce clarity, empathy, or resolution accuracy. So you're looking for the problems that from these prompts. So you want an honest assessment. I think that's important too. Recommend how a modern model, GenAI model, with contextual memory, retrieval, augmented reasoning, and tone alignment could improve each issue. Present results in a short table with friction point, AI fix, and expected impact. So this is kind of getting at, cut to the chase. I probably would add things in here like give us the brutal truth, things like that it needs to know some other things about your brand. You want to put in your company name and things like that. So, but we do think these are extremely helpful in terms of the assessment. Another one is about designing when is the appropriate handoff point. So the escalation efficiency prompt. So we saw from Walmart, it was fast. Like, okay, we can't answer that. Call this number. I don't think that's what we mean here. Like maybe ideally you hand off to a human chat person. But here you are a contact center strategist designing an AI human collaboration model. This is for anybody who has a business where you have people backing up the bots, and that's almost everybody. So review our typical customer inquiries. You could upload all of this. Using GenAI reasoning, classify each interaction as fully automatable, AI assisted, or human only. This is where you need some help because it's complicated. And explain your rationale. Include 1 KPI to track success. Resolution rate is a really good one. Cost per contact CSAT. Present in a structured table. These are like, I would call them, what would you call them, Jeff? Like kind of the beginning of prompts. They're like starter prompts.
Yeah.
That's the word. Starter prompts for your own business. And we have 8 of them that go together to build a comprehensive assessment of your current situation or a competitor's, or as you compare to competitors.
And I think too, yeah, they're definitely starter prompts. I think if I put on my AI hat guy, you always want to iterate with any of these AI tools. And we love the idea of like you're using AI to potentially assess your AI. Like it's not just in one department and just front facing, right? We're full 360. We utilize it for all aspects of the business. So you want to make sure that you're iterating on this and providing it additional context. These are very specific to customer service, but also on the generic side, because we don't know who you are and what your business is. So we wanted to make sure you had a nice foundation to start that. So giving it additional context, the more context it has, the better it will be. And then to put on my security hat here, I wouldn't just go to put your customers' data in ChatGPT. You want to check with your organization, make sure you're following the charter that they have. If they don't have one, check with InfoSec, make sure that that's good, or redact everyone's information from those transcripts if that's what you're feeding in, and using those approved tools, because you can get quite a bit of insight from that, and it may validate some of the thoughts you had. And I think to Sally's point, having it be critical is key. It's going to say like, oh, aren't you the best? You're offering the greatest customer service ever. And you're not doing this just to get a pat on the back. You're doing this to really assess and get insight. So giving it that guidance is super helpful, and giving it these roles, which is what we've defined here, I think helps start that process.
I mean, honestly, I think if you spend time every day looking at the businesses that do it well, that'll give you, so many ideas for how to improve your own service. And then you can contact them and you can say, I'm sorry, what platform are you using for the voice chat or the chat bot? Like that's once you once you're happy with the way you want it to, with the customer experience, what you think it should be for your business, I think the rest of it's a little bit easier because it's already happening and you can certainly gain expertise. Jeff and I are happy, by the way, if you connect with us to do this for your company, we will give you the brutal truth. We know there's budgets. We understand. We're not trying to be super critical. We're just trying to share what we see and what hopefully it's been helpful. But here's some contact information for Jeff and I on LinkedIn. Our email addresses are super. Everybody loves email, but hey, it's Sally or Jeff at VIPdesk.com. And don't hesitate to reach out. Did I say this earlier? You can share your email. I think we're going to put a link in the chat that we'll take you to a page and you can share your email. We'll send you the prompt pack. Or if you just email us or contact us through LinkedIn, since you're on LinkedIn, we'll be happy to send it that way too. So with that, any final thoughts?
No, I'd love to go. I like seeing a lot of these technologies, like seeing how people have implemented them. So we, like you said, we'd be happy to go on the journey with you and see what you're doing, see what you're talking about. It can just be very sort of casual. We'll go through that process, or we can do a formal structure and go away, evaluate, and give you a report on that. It's our passion. I think just because we've been doing this so long and we really care about the customer experience, and we're customers. So we also get really frustrated in real life. So we bring all of that to the table, and we'd love to have a conversation with you.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, Jeff, for joining me.
Thank you, Sally.
Sidekick, especially during Customer Service Week for our industry. So
absolutely. Good timing for the workshop.
Yeah, it's great. And we appreciate everybody joining us. Thank you so much. We'll make this recording available. We really, truly thank you for your time and hope you have a great day.
Take care, everyone.